It's time for another book review, and this time it is Blackmailer's Delight by David Lawrence. I received an ARC of this book, and it is actually out today. So if you're interested in it, you can go ahead and grab it today. So in Blackmailer's Delight, it is an romance, and it's historical fiction, and it takes place in 1795. So we start the book off with Daniel and Clarence, who have been lovers for a very long time, but they are in the midst of a very dramatic breakup. Daniel has basically decided that he is done with Clarence's philandering ways, and he is going to leave. So after dumping orange juice on top of Clarence's head, he leaves London and goes out to the country to help take care of his ailing uncle. His uncle, basically, you get the sense throughout the book that his uncle really raised Daniel, and we understand that Daniel is going to inherit his uncle's title. So he heads out to the country, and now he's getting over his breakup. So obviously, anytime a young, eligible man comes into town, everyone is interested in getting their daughters hitched to him. And that's what we see with Luke's family, who is our other main character. His family are very interested in having one of their daughters marry Daniel to kind of help solidify / elevate their status. Now they are basically fabric sellers, and they have gone from very kind of middle class-ish to much higher upper class. So they're in that very weird position of being too wealthy to be around the people that they used to be, but still new money, so looked down by the upper class individuals. So they're kind of hoping that if they can get one of their daughters to marry Daniel, it'll kind of just help solidify where they are in the class system. Now, Luke is young. There is an age gap in this. I believe Luke is 18 and Daniel is about in his 30s. So if you're not a fan of age gap, you probably won't like this. I thought it was actually pretty well done. So Luke is 18. He has not done anything with anybody, but he is immediately infatuated with Daniel, and has dreams about being with Daniel, really wants this kind of relationship. And they happen to meet at kind of like a country ball type thing, where, again, Daniel is being propositioned by all the daughters of the townspeople. And basically, at the end of the night, they all go, Daniel, Luke, and Luke's sisters, they all go back to Daniel's house and, to hang out and stuff like that. Well, upon arriving, Clarence has shown back up. And Clarence is basically trying to win back Daniel, and he unfortunately has left all of these love letters that Daniel has written him, kind of strewn about, and Daniel obviously freaks out and is like, I need you to pick them up if someone sees them. So unbeknownst to Daniel, after that night, Clarence has left a blackmail letter. A letter basically blackmailing him about his sexuality and telling his uncle. He does not sign it. He does not make it seem like it's from him. It is not until Luke and Clarence have this random interaction that Clarence requests that Luke go and get the letter back. He wrote it in kind of like a heated moment. He doesn't actually want to cause Daniel any kind of issues, so he asked Luke to go get the letter. Well, unfortunately, as Luke is trying to get the letter, Daniel walks in, sees him with the letter, and assumes it is Luke who is the blackmailer. So this book is obviously a huge misunderstanding, miscommunication trope. If you're not a fan of that, you probably won't like this book. But I think it was really well written and really well handled. Once we kind of get to a point where things are explained and the characters are all in the know, there's some really great communication between all of the characters. There's such great character developments. You have Luke, who starts off very kind of naive, not really knowing how to be in a gay relationship, really coming into his own, really understanding what he wants in life. You have Daniel, who is just so petrified of anybody finding out about who he is, what his sexual preference is, and him just really getting to a point where he's willing to talk to other people, specifically his uncle, about his sexuality. But I think the character that had the biggest character development is Clarence. He is 100% at the beginning of the book that typical spoiled, wealthy boy whose parents are super overbearing. He kind of just goes along with what his parents tell him to do in terms of his relationship with Daniel. So it's really great to see him kind of develop throughout the book and realize that, he has to respect Daniel and what Daniel wants, and what Daniel wants is not him anymore. So like I said, this is set in 1795, so go into this knowing that there is period-related homophobia. arranged marriages, young relationships. So go into this knowing that it's that time period. It's not 2024. But again, it's such a well written book. The plot is great. There's some really great humor, twist you won't see coming. And the ending is just absolutely beautiful and perfect. So again, Blackmailer's Delight by David Lawrence is out today. So if you want to download it and read it, you should do it.